I just want to thank President Abbas for being here and his delegation. We just concluded some very productive discussions on this issue. I commended President Abbas for the excellent work that he and Prime Minister Fayyad have been engaged in over the last several years in strengthening the security as well as improving the economic situation for his people. He's done so through hard work and dedication, and I think the whole world has noticed the significant improvements that we've seen as a consequence of his good administration. But obviously, there is a lot of work that remains to be done so that we can create a two-state solution in the Middle East in which we have an Israel that is secure and fully accepted by its neighbors, and a Palestinian people that have their own state, self-determination, and the ability to chart their own destiny. Now, we've just gone through a difficult period in the region. We saw the tragedy with the flotillas, something that I think has drawn attention all around the world to the ongoing problems in Gaza. As part of the United Nations Security Council, we were very clear in condemning the acts that led to this crisis and have called for a full investigation. And it is important that we get all the facts out. But what we also know is that the situation in Gaza is unsustainable. I think increasingly you're seeing debates within Israel recognizing the problems with the status quo. And so President Abbas and I had very extensive discussions about how we could help to promote a better approach to Gaza. We agree that Israelis have the right to prevent arms from entering into Gaza that can be used to launch attacks into Israeli territory. But we also think that it is important for us to explore new mechanisms so that we can have goods and services and economic development and the ability of people to start their own businesses and to grow the economy and provide opportunity within Gaza. And so we are going to be working hand in hand to make sure that we come up with a better approach and urge Israel to work with all parties involved, Egypt, the Palestinian Authority, and the international community to find a resolution to this issue. In the meantime, the United States, which is already the biggest humanitarian aid donor in Gaza, is going to be announcing an additional $400 million in assistance for housing, school construction, business development, not only in Gaza but also in the West Bank, because we think it's important for us to reaffirm once again our commitment to improving the day-to-day lives of ordinary Palestinians. Now, what we also discussed, though, and what we will continue to work on over the next several months, is the fact that not only is the status quo with respect to Gaza unsustainable, the status quo with respect to the Middle East is unsustainable. It is time for us to go ahead and move forward on a two-state solution that will affirm the needs of Israeli citizens and will affirm the needs of Palestinians who are desperate for a homeland. We have had very productive proximity talks. Senator Mitchell, who is here, I think standing in the back, has been very active, working with both the Palestinians and the Israelis to try to start moving this process forward. And I want to thank President Abbas for participating in these proximity talks, even under some difficult circumstances. He has shown courage and tenacity in wanting to resolve this issue. And we believe that with Israelis and the Palestinian Authority coming together, making clear that a peaceful, nonviolent solution that recognizes both the security needs of Israel as well as the legitimate aspirations of Palestinians is the right way to go can yield real progress in the coming months. It's important that we understand the sense of urgency that the Palestinian people feel in this process. Obviously, you've got organizations like Hamas that have not recognized Israel, have not renounced violence, who are calling for a different approach. And we think it's important that, given President Abbas's commitment to a peaceful diplomatic solution to these issues, and I think the desire of people both in Israel and Palestine, Palestinian territories, for a peaceful solution, that we move forward, and the United States is going to put its full weight behind those efforts. I did share with President Abbas, in order for us to be successful in these next several months, that both sides have to create an environment, a climate that is going to be conducive to an actual breakthrough. And that means, on the Israeli side, curbing settlement activity and recognizing some of the progress that has been made by the Palestinian Authority when it comes to issues like security. It means, on the Palestinian side, and I was very frank with President Abbas, that we have to continue to make more progress on both security as well as incitement issues. And if we can, over the next several months, try to lift up what are the honest and legitimate concerns of both sides, and if both Palestinians and Israelis can recognize that they have a common interest in moving off of what has been this dead end, then I believe that potentially we can make significant progress before the end of the year. So I just want to let President Abbas know that I said when I took office, this was an issue that I cared deeply about, and I was willing to spend a lot of time and energy and political capital on. That commitment has not wavered, and I think the American people want to see a resolution of this issue that is equitable. We will continue to work side by side with you, as well as the Israelis, to resolve this in a way that is good for the children and future generations, both in Israel and in a future Palestine. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
شكرا فخامة الرئيس. نحن أيها السادة أجرينا محادثات هامة جدا حول العملية السياسية وحول مجريات الأحداث التي جرت مؤخرا بالنسبة لقطاع غزة.
Thank you, Mr. President, and we indeed have just held very important discussions that touched on the political process as well as on the very important latest development that happened in Gaza.
طبعا نحن نقدر تقديرا عاليا الجهد الذي تبذله معنا الولايات المتحدة والرئيس باراك أوباما حول تطوير الوضع الفلسطيني الاقتصادي والأمني، والذي وصل إلى صورة مرضية، إلا أننا نحن مصممون على الاستمرار في جهودنا لتحقيق التقدم المطلوب.
Of course, we value and deeply appreciate all the efforts of the United States as well as the effort of President Obama in all the assistance and help for pushing forward the economic and security levels. And we have reached a satisfactory picture of the economic and security levels, yet we are determined to keep pushing forward in our efforts to bring it up to the next level.
نقدر تقديرا عاليا الاهتمام والتصميم لدى الرئيس أوباما من أجل الوصول إلى العملية السياسية في أقرب فرصة ممكنة، وأنا أؤكد له أننا لن نتخلى عن هذه المسيرة، لأنها مصلحتنا أن يكون هناك سلام، مصلحة إسرائيل وأيضا مصلحة العالم، وعلى رأسه الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية.
And I also appreciate the attention and the determination of President Obama in seeing that we push forward the political process as soon as possible. And I assert and I affirm that we will not give up on this endeavor ahead of us, because it is in our interest. It is in the interest of Israel, in the interest of the world, and also, most of all, in the interest of the United States.
نحن نعرف أن الوقت مهم ويجب أن لا نضيع الوقت، ونحن نؤكد إصرارنا وتصميمنا على تحقيق السلام بأقرب فرصة ممكنة.
We know that time is of essence, and we know that we must not miss this opportunity. We affirm the importance of bringing about peace and security in the region.
وهنا لابد لي الآن أن أشكر الرئيس أوباما على الدعم الذي سيقدمه إلى غزة والذي تحدثنا به الآن. هذه إشارة جيدة إلى أن الولايات المتحدة مهتمة جدا بمعاناة الشعب الفلسطيني في غزة وفي الضفة الغربية.
And I would like to thank President Obama for the support that he will give to Gaza, and we have just talked about that now. This is a positive signal of the United States, that the United States cares about the suffering of the people in Gaza and about